Alright, the gloves are coming off. No more Mr. Nice Guy, I'm using 10% of my power today. She gave us permission to brute force, and now I'm gonna fucking brute force. I'm gonna be a madman with this one. We end it today. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna fill in every additional name we don't know for sure. Gwyn Morden here. Take a look at her. She marries a man. We know that this is a woman, and we know that it's Gwendolyn Moore, we just don't know about her occupation, or even if that's her. But she marries a man. So we're gonna look at all the men here that have their name used 4 times. Whichever man that is, that's our guy. That's our unsub. 4 Wilsons, there we go. Jem is a woman. Jason is a man. Steven's a man. Zach is a man. She married Steven. I'm gonna go with that. Steven is also apparently pictured somewhere. I don't know where that would be, but maybe the World Wide Web can tell me. Let's fucking go! Fuck yeah! Dr. Steven Wilson is a pediatrician who practices north of Pittsburgh. There are lots of Steven Wilsons and Dr. Wilsons. This one apparently found a way to game the search results as he pops to the top every time. His website claims that he is the pediatrician to the stars. The only evidence for this is that he apparently was the doctor to the Roottree sisters. That's a big link right there. Let's go. There is a picture of him on the site, as well as a picture of his 3 children. The 3 of them look as though the photographer is holding them hostage. Regardless, the photo's been added to your evidence. There is a picture of him on his website, as well as a picture of his 3 children. The 3 of them... Oh, I just read that. I'm a fucking idiot. There is also a quote that, although credited to his child Jason, you suspect might not be written by a 10-year-old. My dad is the best dad in the entire world, and he treats every patient with world-class care. He will treat your children like he would me, my big brother, or my sister. More! Fucking more! Zach is the big brother, Jason's the middle kid, and the little sister's named Jem. Okay, so Jason is the youngest, actually. Doesn't even matter, though. But hold up, we're not just gonna cheese it yet, because... because there's more cheesing we can do! Plenty more we can do yet. Clancy Jr. Alright, we don't know. We know that these 2 had scholarly careers. I'm gonna say this one, I think I had the names right, and I think I got the photos right. Photos were definitely right. I don't know about the professions, though. I'm gonna say this one's professor. This one needed something a little more fancier than that, I'd say. No. Scholarly pursuits. So lawyer, professor, what else would fit in with scholarly? Here's what we're going to do next. David Kellogg III is absolutely Bonnie Hudson's spouse. Nothing comes up for him. Alright, so these 3 here, we're going to cheese the hell out of them, is what we're going to do. Jason Wilson is a student K through 12. That's for certain. November, we don't actually know what her career is, but she was a student at the time of this photo at the very least. Alright, we're gonna fill in 1 more of these. And we're gonna make it Zach, because we know that he's a college student. That's just a gimme. Please don't give it away. Good, it is not giving it away. So that's 2 out of 4 confirmed. We might be at 3 out of 4, if I'm right about November. But we're definitely not right about November and one of these 2. She looks younger, I would wager. But we're not going to put her in yet. It's too easy. I got more names I want to fill in. For instance, each one of these men had a wife, who would be a name that appears once and then never appears again. So let's go ahead and pick names that appear once and never again. I'm going to say that... Let's see. Edward Roottree marries April Corrich. Garcia is like a Hispanic name. I don't really see any sort of Hispanic influence in the... Oh, that's kind of cool. I see how the line draws around. I don't see any Hispanic influence in these kids, so I don't think it would be that. Just another racial profiling W. And a Catherine Wilkins. We'll do those 3. Alright. More unattributed names. Perhaps Elias married Louisa Garcia, rather. Miracle still has an unattributed wife. She must be someone with a very oldie-sounding name. Helen's kind of timeless. Joan seems too young. We'll go with Helen. There was someone else, too. We know that he married a Patricia. Jones or Christensen Patricia? Jones is a throwaway name. That's what they would have called her. Still don't know her yet. But this is the opportunity to brute force her. Alright. Unclaimed root tree women. There's a Samantha root tree. Much to my surprise, it's probably not her. There's a Christina, there's a Tessa. Christina with a K, that's too free-spirited. I don't buy it. Shit, maybe this is Samantha. Housewife will say. Alright, and now for my final gambit. My final gambit of this run. I'm going to figure out who the dancer was in the Free Spirits. Was it you, Bonnie? Or you, Quinn? The only one who it's not confirmed to be. That's a name in stone. Let's suppose that I've actually got these two faces backwards, which I don't think is likely. No. No, it is not likely. I think I had those faces right. Alright. Alright, let's put Gem in. Time for my gambit. Time to see if the gambit paid off. Wait a second. Did those two not get confirmed? Those two additional pictures of Clark? Is this so I can switch them out? Yeah, okay, I had these backwards. That one is Jim. Where the fuck is Clark Rafferty? There he is, changed the photo. And there's the one of him. Okay, we just put down a spouse for him too. Joan Monroe. Whoever this lady is, there's a photo of her somewhere. Ah! I want to switch two of these out. I think that the oldest sounding name of a unaccompanied woman is Catherine Wilkins, so I think that she would be a 5-piece, a Gen 2. Alright, I'm ready for it. Big gambit here. Jim Wilson, and let's just say she's K through 12. Alright, who's the fourth gonna be? And how many of the externals did I get? We've got the dancer! November's the dancer! Let's fucking go, baby! Wilson Steven. Wait, I got a lot of people. Hold up. Slow down. Quaritch, okay, April Quaritch was the black lady then. Stephen Wilson, I'll have to revisit that. We did not get a Patricia, which means that the other Patricia is the one that Elias Jr. married. And we got Kellogg, which I was pretty confident about already. So now we just need to figure out where the sons go for him. Stephen Wilson, that's just the doctor, right? Yeah, so he's not a big deal. Alright, big plays. So everything that's not down for external names right now is incorrect, except for this here. Because I'm about to change it, and now it is correct. Patricia Christensen. Where's my pipe? God, tobacco max for this one. Let's just keep a note that everything that is not yellow is incorrect right now, or at least partially incorrect. You know what? Makes sense to me that Tessa Roottree would have been Penelope Tessa Green's kid. Maybe? No, I'm not gonna say that. That's hasty of me. This must be Gwendolyn. These must be the Mordens, is all I can think. Ernie Madsen Jr.'s wife needs a photo. Deborah Bean. There she is. Context clues. This is a different kid. Because there's no option to put him as an additional photo for that one. So we're looking for the names of unclaimed Roottree boys. When it comes to Roottree, there's only a handful. I suppose that could be a little girl, but it's hard to tell. It must be a little girl, actually. There's no unidentified Roottree men. Alright. Occam's Razor says it's Tessa Roottree. And she is a full-time baby. Alright, since I've just been so historically incorrect about names, let's assume that this is... First of all, how many Eliases are left? So, this is in fact the correct Elias that's in play. But I think that this one is Elias C, and this one is Clancy Jr. We'll just say they're both professors for now. One of them's a damn professor. Of this I am certain. How come neither of these girls inherited all the fat from their father? This is suspicious. Bonnie Hudson, I bet she was a housewife. Kids, though? Well, really, it's a toss-up as to whether or not the boy or the girl was born first. So let's say it was the boy, and then the girl. For now. Now, being that there are photos of these two, and they're beyond the generation where they were taking family photos, it stands to reason that there must be an entry about them somewhere online. So we're gonna do a whole bunch of cold searches now. Chris Rafferty. Same principle applies to him. He must show up from a search result somewhere. Oh, that's right. We had photos of his whole family. Wait, no. Of his newest family. Yeah, he must have, another son. Caroline says that she's disappointed that her sister Gwendolyn and her cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. And so this is where we're supposed to find out about Dr. Wilson. However, I think that gave up on their dreams also implies that they both went on to be professional housewives, so to speak. So let's roll with that for both of them for now. That's also how my father was connected to Roottree, says Jim Roottree. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player, but I was never interested in. So Jim Roottree's dad was in advertising. Let's switch the names back. I liked the names the way before. Alright, so we have this, and we had another one that I was pretty confident about. I think it was the Housewives. I shouldn't be confident, but it seemed most likely. Okay, so there's a woman somewhere who's got a photo of her. We need to figure out that married Chris Rafferty. I just realized that I just realized that Lauren Rafferty's book Swashbuckle My Heart, that would have been under the name Lauren Rafferty and not Roottree. Maybe I can find that. Out of print. Oh, re-released as X Marks the Spot. Maybe this will tell us... Oh, shit, I did it in the wrong spot. Maybe this will tell us a little more about what she's doing at our door. Yeah, and it was republished under her real name. Or her birth name. This is A Buried Treasure by Lauren Roottree, and from the author of the Court series. Court series. It also says to keep an eye out for Lauren Rootree's next book, Revisiting the Diary 10 years later. Releasing in 1975. Are you serious? There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that there's another Roottree diary book that's just been sitting waiting to be discovered. Oh, it's all over. It's so fucking over. Where are my pipes at? Ah! We are so back. Revisiting the Diary scandal. The new diary opens with an explosive incident that happened in the decade between the release and re-release of Lauren's diary. Elias Roottree had died, so let me just be certain. Which one is he? That's her dad, right? No, that's her uncle. No, that's the grandpa. The grandpa's just the plain old Elias. Elias Roottree had died, and during the reading of his will, there was an audible gasp when a certain name was read aloud: Samantha Roottree. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, he had a stipulation that she retain the rights to run the farm and any and all decisions related to it. So Samantha Roottree, Sam was a woman. They were really like kind of gender bending and like they were really like trying to make that a twist that like the Sam who's into motorcycles and shit like that was a woman. He had a stipulation that she retained the rights to run the farm and any and all decisions related to it. So real quick, can I just take the leap real quick that this is Samantha and she was a farmer? Question mark? No? Let's keep reading. It was then that the scandalous secrets came out. None of the 5 pieces were surprised, but it was quite a shock to everyone else, including Sam. She had been told her parents died. Apparently, Sam was the illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen. Okay. Alright, this is par for the course. This is more or less what I was expecting. So she's the illegitimate daughter of him and her, and so, of course, we already knew that name was right, which means that Sam goes here. But, Apparently Sam was the illegitimate daughter. Patricia, the daughter of a local steel mogul, and Eli Jr. harbored a secret romance at age 16. She became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see Eli Jr. ever again. Her baby, Samantha, was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as E.C. Okay. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. That was the end of that, almost. None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared, now going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Eli Jr., and they finally married in their 50s. Lauren mentioned the wedding in her first diary without knowing Patsy's history. Eli Jr. had never taken another lover. Lauren, ever the romantic, quite appreciated this. When Patsy and Eli Jr. finally married, Elias decided Sam should have been a Roottree in the first place, because she was a blood relative. Even though she was not part of the clan's trust, he wanted to include her in family affairs. That was what led to Lauren's initial entry entitled Sam. This is all in a book that's been published? This seems like it should be like things we should have known since the start of the game. Alright. I'm gonna have to reread this many times, but let's just keep going. Sam. This is a page of additional notes and context from the 1975 10-year anniversary re-release of Lauren's diary. Clearly, I did not know our true family when I wrote this. I didn't even know Sam was a Roottree. All of my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. Had she the chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwyn never was. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. It's been a long, long time since any real Roottree was as excited and interested in the actual candy as Ernie. As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. Gwyneth is a farmer. Хорошо, очень хорошо. Let's fucking go! Locked in all the free spirits. It's so Jover. It's so fucking Jover. Helen Lennon, so I put that down for, I think that was, I put that down as Miracles, the first Miracles wife. We were right about Samantha. She was only recognized as a Roottree much later, though. So what I should have picked up on earlier is that no one talked about Elias Jr. having any kids. But he did. He only had the one kid who was a disgraced bastard daughter and didn't come up again. But there's still mystery still. Gwyneth Madsen, farmer. And I was right when Caroline Morden scorned Bonnie and Gwendolyn, saying they gave up on their dreams. That was spiteful Caroline code for saying that they became housewives. But yeah, Helen, Catherine Wilkins is in. We knew she would be in. I got the other Patricia too. That was a shot in the dark, and a couple of photos that I got out of the way. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, it's looking good. Catherine Wilkins. Yep. Still need to get these two brothers right. I guess I can basically confirm now that this one is Clancy Jr. because we know that this guy is in advertising. And that this one was the Elias. I'm gonna hold on to this guy being a professor. Let's say that this guy married Joan Monroe and this guy married Luisa Garcia. So let's just work with the assumption that we might have two people down. Time to read the rest of this shit, the rest of this shit, and just have it all fall into place. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr.'s been learning the day-to-day. What I'm most ashamed of is not figuring it all out myself. Sam's a spitting image of Patsy, with her jet black hair and green eyes. She doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Thick glasses Patsy skips a generation. Does that clue help me? No, well, I mean, it would have, because thick glasses run in both of the kids. So apparently she used to also wear thick glasses. That could have been helpful earlier. This would have been so fucking easy if I found this in, like, the second episode of the game. It's hard to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that the farm's operations would pass to Samantha Roottree, for as long as she was willing. I got flashbacks to when Zach was made president. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam wouldn't receive any candy money, after all, and was essentially inheriting the right to rule over the peasants for eternity. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor, and I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Confirmed bachelor. Chat, what does this mean? I thought it was gay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was pretty sure that that was a term for gay, because that's the perk name in Fallout New Vegas that lets you have gay dialogue with men. So yeah, in the past, man who never intended to marry a woman. Derogatory term to imply he was gay. In the early 1900s, there was a good chance that if someone was discovered to be gay, they might even be ousted or shunned. Yes, of course. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. EC's gay. He's probably the dude in the back of that photo with the beard. But I gotta figure out what EC stands for. That's probably the name I have to type out. I'm not sure Sam will ever forgive Uncle Junior or Patsy for abandoning her to that life. That life, like it was some horrible thing. She was just rooming with friends is all. Like, it sucks being scorned by your family, but you say it like it was some great punishment. I might never forgive them either, but even so, she seems to have blame more than just the two of them. She has no problems with us next-gens, but she has a palpable hatred for the Five Pieces and Elias and Gwyneth. She has a palpable hatred for the Five Pieces and Elias and Gwyneth. I wouldn't think that Sam would actually be so vehement about it. That's interesting. Clark! This is a page of additional notes and context from the 1975 companion piece of the entry about her son Clark. Reading this back, I got deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Roottrie has ever remarried. That could be a clue. Sure, I lost Jacob, and Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Not even I can blame her for that. I've seen what he gets up to in Starlet, but neither of us ever took a second husband. With the way the world is moving, I guess it was inevitable someone in this family would remarry. I just wish it wasn't my son. I can only wonder if Clark's apparent disrespect for marriage is due to the lack of a real father. I did what I could, and Lord knows Eli C. stepped up and helped. More than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Okay. So those are all her brothers she's talking about, and Eli C. helped her out to kind of be a pseudo-father to Clark. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers whenever he could. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock. Pun intended. That's a pun. Why is that a pun? Oh, because diamond. So who knows what causes these things? I suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out on the band. Without her, he'd be the third wheel, and I imagine that they wouldn't last long as a trio. But still, I don't think a marriage on such a shaky foundation like that can last. And Lord knows I was right last time. This is 1975. I think she ended up being right. Next one. What's this titled? Names. The biggest complaint I got after publishing my diary is how many similar names there are. And I get it, there are 4 Elis for Pete's sake. Are there 4 Elis? I thought there were only 3. There's the first, there's Miracle Jr.'s brother, there's her brother, and then there's the Elias Jr., the architect. Okay, yeah. But that's how it is. Someone would say, I saw Eli in town, and I wouldn't know which one they meant. My brother, my uncle, my cousin. That's why they became Uncle Jr. or Miracle's Eli or Eli C. Our family's names were always unusual. Grandpa Elias was a believer in using the names of each generation to honor those in the last. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father were named Edward and Clancy. To the computers we go. Clancy Anderson. Edward Anderson. Clancy Roottree. Yes, damn you. Fuck. No, actually, I didn't look like I can find anything for any of those. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father were named Edward and Clancy, so now you see where my Pop's name came from. So Pops and Clancy are the same person? Damn you. Make up your mind. One thing that's always been consistent in our family, though, is that anytime someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. This helps with something. That goes for Miracle, Eli, or even Clancy. With the women, however, it all goes out the window. I think Gwendolyn got her name from some combination of Gwyneth and Carolyn, who was Elias's mother. Huh? Women's names tend to get all mixed up as the generations went on. I guess that's because there's no female equivalent of Junior. Is that a thing? I've never thought of that before. I guess there is no female equivalent of Junior. So if you're reading my diary and confused, you're not alone. Even the government had problems. I remember once receiving certified mail for an Edward Clancy Roottree. I had to break the news that they got my father's name backwards. But they didn't. Edward Clancy is EC, is he not? Alright, last page, anger. Anger? What's this about? This is a page. It is not a companion piece to any specific entry, but rather a fun bonus, in quotes. Apparently, this is the first thing she could find that she ever wrote. She knows it was for a school assignment about anger, and she believes based on the teacher's name she must have been in the 3rd grade. She doesn't exactly remember the events spelled out here, but she does remember getting in trouble. I got angry when I met a new girl who I do not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged him. When I told her he was my Pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, "Your Pop is my dad." She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing. I pushed her too. Then I got in trouble, then Pop took her away. He told me, "Don't worry, I am glad she is gone." So. Clancy Edward had a bastard daughter. Unless that one was about Sam. Yeah, he had a daughter. Put that down. Alright, well, we know now that the firstborn son is always the junior. So that means that this here is Clancy Jr. And this here is Eli C. This is 100%. This is not necessarily. Oh, wow. We're actually, like, all out of people. This baby has not been identified yet. Must be a Roottrie. Christina Roottrie, maybe? Well, that was a mighty discovery. But our luck is starting to run thin. The issue has honestly become that there's so many people who we just have never encountered a trace of. I don't know why I thought it would end this way, that it would be the bare, oddest ends, outliers of the family that I wouldn't be able to identify, but that's looking like where it's headed. She becomes Mrs. Cattrall and does Anderson farm tours. Well, I guess we can start cold searching people. CE is for cinnamon extract. Didn't we learn that the 5 pieces were all named after, like, the different members of the family of the 5 pieces? Clancy Edward, okay, cinnamon extract, but there's still that Edward Clancy that we heard about. I'm not letting go of that. This is strange. These 2 cousins are both named Stephanie. I think. Yeah, they must be. Both named Stephanie. Magazine Teen Blast? Excuse me? Excuse me? Is this actually a magazine? It is. New magazine. Teen Blast has played host to many Roottree advertisements with the years for many of their products, including 5 pieces. They flood the results. Alright. Show me the Kellogg's. Show me the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Okay, new magazine. How can this help me? Raina Roottree, probably. Raina was on the cover of Teen Blast when she was 16 and did an interview. Add it to your evidence. Okay, so there's the other Raina photo. Brother Trouble, new gossip. I don't know if he's interested. Candy Girl. Okay, yeah, sure. Well, that's a good meaty interview. What's it say? Mentions TMS and Brother Trouble. In an interview, Raina talks about her inspirations. One important thing I learned from an early age is that dreams are not outside of our grasp. My grandpa was a college professor. Huh? Wait, no, I was right. Fuck, I think I've just got these photos wrong. As soon as I switch those photos, I'll have two in place, but let's exploit that. Who taught me lectures about history. He always told me that history is full of people from famous families who wasted their fame and fortune by taking it for granted. Instead, he told me I should go out and use my name to accomplish something. I think he may have practiced that lecture a lot because I have other people in my family that have also made the Roottrie name famous for things besides candy. His older sister even wrote a book that some of my friends tell me they had to read in school. I took his advice and now I work with my mom, designing clothing. I help decide what colors and patterns I want to model. And then she designs the clothes with a team of amazing men and women. Although my grandpa passed away earlier this year, Grandma Laura tells me he was really proud of what we've managed to accomplish. Alright, not quite what I was looking for, but... Sure, it's good. It's good. I won't complain. There's a photo of Miracle Jr. somewhere that's yet to be discovered. Alright, let's just... Devil's Advocate. No. We did just learn about Grandma Laura, though. That's in stone. My. Much to do, much to do. How about Tommy Mark Sheridan? Appeared on the cover of Teen Blast a record 38 times, including 3 big issues back-to-back months during the height of Brother Trouble. In the issues, he wasn't on the cover, but he was still mentioned quite often. You read every word of every article, and besides the fact that he was married to Raina, only one thing seems relevant. A gossip section from 1996, about 8 months prior, is called Is TMS Dating a Roottrie? At a recent autograph signing, TMS told a Teen Blast reporter that he met a girl at a party in Malibu. Apparently, the cast of Brother Trouble gets together at Penelope's house once a year, and this time, TMS found love. She's incredible. She came to the party to meet me specifically, and I'm glad she did. She said she had a crush on me when she was younger. I told her I have a crush on her from her posters now. Teen Blast reported some digging, refused to spill. One of the creators of Brother Trouble, Ron, married Penelope. Played TMS mom on the show, and get this, Ron is a distant relative of the Roottrie sisters. Sure, fuck, it's all things I've already figured out, I think. Court series, that's something else. Oh. She had the inspiration from one of her brother Clancy's lectures on the Middle Ages. Okay, yeah. So, Clancy's a fucking professor. We get it already. Is Chris Rafferty in Teen Blast, maybe? Well, there's 8 to go. I'm just in a pretty shit position right now. I have no way of, I don't know where to look to find these missing faces. It's gonna be a lot of rereading on the way. Alright, I'm back a day later. I couldn't find my dress pants, so today I'm only a detective from the waist up. So, I think the plan is just gonna be look through everyone tangentially related to the unknowns that are for certain, and see if we can't turn anything up about them. Danielle Franks, I haven't tried searching her before. Womp womp. As for the hidden thing over here, I think I'm slowly picking up on that Clancy Edward, or was it Edward Clancy EC? I think that he's the guy in this photo right here. Shit, this photo. But because that beard looks so fake, and also because it would just be, like, thematically present, I think that this might actually be, like, a girl who transitioned to a guy, and we're going for, like, an old-timey trans story with this. Well, no, I don't know if that makes sense, because how would they know that she was gonna transition as a child? I don't know. It's made me consider that maybe the girl at my door is actually Caroline Morden, who we know is affiliated with Flag and has also written books. So, like, maybe she's the one who's coming to write a book about the fucking Five Pieces and how they erased their transgender relative from history. I don't know. That just seems like it'd be consistent. In the meantime, I really just need to figure out the fucking names that are still undiscovered. It's clear to me that Miracle Jr., he must come up in another something somewhere. Because there's a photo of him I haven't found, and that's probably related to his nephew or niece. Let's try searching for him for a bit. Okay. Doesn't go by his full name in promotional materials. Well, this is strange, because he's clearly listed in the family tree as Miracle Jr. So what's his full name then? What do you mean? Miracle Jr. doesn't go by Miracle Jr. Instead, he has shortened it to Miracle Jr. Like, what's your fucking point? Why did this come up from Miracle? If someone is prominent enough to be found online, and that person goes by a nickname, you may get different results searching for their nickname. Yes, yes. Televangelist. Miracle Network. Edith has a checkered past as well, but doesn't clarify. That could be helpful. Edith Roottree? Well, no, that's the same thing. Well, no, she would have gone by her original name, Edith Jacobson. What was Edith Jacobson up to, pray tell? Link that seems to be a partial and corrupted list of archived articles from the Butler County Times. Cut off, but mentions Edith Jacob and an arrest. Alright, so we gotta go to the periodicals. Crime Blotter article. Might want to look into that. Edith Roottree, Helen Roottree, and a Lucinda Jacobson. In 1971, when she was 18, Edith and her sister Lucinda were arrested for trespassing at the Miracle Congregations Church in Butler County. They were pretending to be church employees in an attempt to get into the room where the church houses their weekly tithings. The church didn't press charges. They were trying to steal tithings. So the second generation Miracle Jr. seems like he's a fraudster all the way. They were caught by Helen Roottree, who was there at the time while her husband Miracle was away preaching. Helen Roottree was quoted as saying, "Jesus forgives and so do we. The Lord works in mysterious ways, and I'm confident He has brought these young women to us for a greater purpose." So once again, you have taught me things I already knew. Catherine Wilkins. Maybe I'd be like a Katie Wilkins? I have to try all derivatives and diminutives of these names. Begin with Katie. Hey, we got some. Katie Wilkins. There are a lot of old newspaper ads for Wilkins Motors. The most recent mention you can find mentions they changed their name to Roottree Motors. The ad is in your inventory. No photos? Wilkins Motors is now Roottree Motors. We may have a new name, but we promise we're still the same family business. All that's different is we've joined a sweeter family. Funny noises? Need a new oil? Come on down, we'll fix her up. Call the fixers. Well, there aren't any people in this. Wilkins Motors, the same family business, but has joined the Roottree family. Wilkins Motor. Okay, well maybe I should search Roottree Motors. Okay. Roottree Motors on the Jones graphic and print website, which you've already seen. You don't find any trace of them on the internet. Okay, so maybe I just have to search them down here. Into periodical, Where's my pipe? As an ad for Roottree Motors has run in every week's Butler County Times for many years, recently it's been changed to include a picture. People, please. Show me the people. Yeah, there's a couple more. There's a person. Tessa Roottree. Okay. So that is Eli's daughter. And really, that's enough to confirm people, but I'm not sure if I want to do that yet, because I stand to confirm everyone but these four. These four are the most unknown. I'll figure them out. It's fine. It's literally fine. Tessa, there you are. Which means that the baby is a Catherine Roottree. You are certainly a mechanic. You are certainly a baby. Christina Roottree, my bad. Which means, for the last time, I've gotten these damn photos backwards. Happy now? Are we good? Are we chilling? Locked in everyone in the next generation photograph. Oh, we got Joe Monroe, Louisa Garcia. Couple of photos. Who was the first name we got? Okay, Wives is good. Joe Monroe is good. Louisa Garcia is good. Now do we get a lore entry? Now do we get Zachariah Morton kicking my door in? No? Okay, we gotta wait for the last one. I didn't mean to put that photo in there. Alright, let's actually be thorough and read what I just found instead of just cutting to the end. Local family mechanic, 77 to 95. Local family mechanic servicing the entire Pittsburgh area. Pittsburgh, okay. Funny noises, need new oil? Come on down, we'll fix her up. Roottree Motors' parents. Alright, that's cool, but hey, I've got that whole half of the family done now. So now it comes down to this bunch. Let's continue to search with unlikely spouse names. So we know that Chris Rafferty married Louisa Garcia, and that there's a photo of her somewhere. So all I gotta do is search that name everywhere. Maybe she wanted to, like, anglicize her name, and she went by Lisa Rafferty? It's a stretch. Maybe... Oh, you know what? You know what's possible? Maybe because, he was a scorned bastard child, Chris took her last name. Maybe he's Chris Garcia now. No. 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 Not so easy. They're both pictured in a photo somewhere. How would they be of any relation to anybody? Maybe he would be Chris LaRue, take his mother's name. So many different names it could be. Bet could be a short name for Kellogg. Let's try Bet Kellogg. Except that would be a pretty short name. Or she'd be pretty young, I mean to say. Perhaps she is Betsy Kellogg. Okay, Christensen Steel could be something. I saw that when I was recording. Yes, we found that. Christensen Steel was a steel company in Butler County. On a World War II history page, you find that it contributed to the war efforts by creating parts for vehicles, but after that went out of business. Christensen Steel and Patricia Christensen are mentioned in a book review for Steamy Correspondence by Tina Angelina. I got a PDF. Softcover nonfiction. Historical letters with an erotic twist. Each letter is accompanied by context from the book's author. A letter from the book's meant out to your pages. So cool. I don't see any faces in here. Alright, what the hell's in here? In 1934, someone who goes by Patch wrote a letter full of innuendo to an unknown gentleman who it is clear she had a romantic history with. Patch is thought by the book's author to have been Patricia Christensen, so then it was written by Elias Jr., a daughter of the owner of the Christensen Steel. Her nickname was Pat, and CH were the first two letters of her last name. She was known to appreciate wordplay like this. Patricia, who would have been in her mid-20s when the letter was written, was married to an older man of no notable status. This letter was most definitely not to him. There are also a few passages after the steamy bits that mention a daughter, leading Tina Angelina to theorize that this letter was written to the father of a child she hid away from society in some way. The daughter is Samantha Roottree. We know this. The letter ends on a mention of a twisted twin that seems to evoke imagery from classic literature. What's this about a twisted twin? What? If not for her story, yours and mine would be the most tragic tale ever told. How awful is it that such beauty was ripped from its rightful fate, and worse, sent to live in possession of your brother's twisted twin? Okay, hang on. Are we suggesting now that Elias Roottree Jr. had a twin? A twin makes sense. That'd be how they obfuscate him. Yeah, this clocks. He's probably got a hermaphrodite twin, which would explain the transition in the fake beard. This tracks. Left an outcast, forced to live a life of labor under a wicked relative, she deserves... Wait, what? It's like something from the start of a children's fable. Wicked relative. She deserves not the life he has been sentenced to. I can't stand to be apart from you both. Someday I shall return to you, and I pray that he has not corrupted her to know his sins. I swear that on that joyous day, and with all the strength I can muster, I will fight for our child's freedom. Let us pray her fable has a happy ending. Tina has no theory for what the more cryptic parts of the poem meant. Well, I do. Thank you, steamy correspondence. I don't think that's going to be important beyond that, though. Released in 97. That's recent. Dave Kellogg. I haven't tried searching for that. Not all Davids go by David. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, how about Davy then? I have an Uncle Davy. Bonnie would have become Bonnie Kellogg. I don't know if I've tried searching for that. I don't know of any nicknames for Bonnie. Alright, let's try using the intended game feature with the clues, the hints thing. Which of these is it saying are attached to undiscovered people? This is saying that it's connected to 6. Why would it be connected to... Well, I mean, I guess it's a lot of information. Is there anything here that I might have missed? Is it possible that WRTD Radio has an update? News segments, 45 minutes on the hour. Culper had an alternate agenda. I betcha Carl was murdered. And Roottree Curse, will this teach me something new if I read it again? Hey, look at that. Entry from a few months ago claims that the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff 78prodigy.us asking him to take down his site with faked proof. That's his Chris Rafferty, that Junior actually had a heart attack and wasn't poisoned. The owner claims that although the proof looked quite credible, he knows that the proof was fake because he's an expert at creating fake evidence. Real. Well... Thomas Overwood. We'll search him in a minute. I'm sure he's important. Can I just cold search an email and see it come up? .us implies he works for the government, doesn't it? Yep. Well, there's Chris taken care of. Oh, a couple of things. Whoa, wait, what is all this stuff I'm printing? You find a simple page called The Art of Rafferty, copyright 97. On Prodigy, that lists the author's email address as that. Below a bunch of gifts that say under construction, there are a few pieces of art. The first is a painting captioned me and my fiancée, Lulu. It's not spelled right. A painting I did for my first year of college that I plan to give her when we get married, in May. Go Tartans. There is an odd collage called Cousins, which seems to be made up of 3 scrambled images. Did I just break the whole thing open? He's just gonna have a bunch of artwork of all of his family. The accompanying artist's statement says, we had to create a piece of art about our family. I asked as many of my extended family of cousins for their pictures as I could, even some I've never met. Only a few of them got back to me, and my teacher said I wasn't allowed to use pictures of Raina, Riley, or Rose, so I had to get creative and use only my third cousins. This includes Davy. He was Davy! What the fuck do you know about that? He swims for Yukon. And Bethany's yearbook picture. She's Davy's younger sister. And Stephanie, who was only a child. Dude! That feels like cheating. I just got all of them off of one lead. Okay, so he's an art student. And... that's kind of hilarious, actually. I can't really use these photos, can I? Maybe I only needed the names, I forget. Perhaps you could extract them using an application on your PC. Is that what we're doing? Oh yeah, I just downloaded a program. Restore the photo. Oh, this is a weird puzzle. Okay. How do I take it now? So I guess I didn't get that first one right. No, go back to that. What's not right about her? Oh, this is off. Cousins, what the fuck is going on with this one? He's a swimmer. It's a fucking Rubik's Cube. Damn you. I'm not good at Rubik's Cubes. I'm really not good at Rubik's Cubes. Fuck. Shit, this might take me like 30 minutes. Alright, well done. You had me stumped. That was way harder than I thought it would be. Fixed them all. Alright, so for starters... Chris Rafferty. So, Chris Rafferty's cousin's art project is said to include pictures of Davy, swims for Yukon, Bethany's yearbook picture, Davy's younger sister, and Stephanie, who is an only child. Alright, let's take him. That's a yearbook photo. That's Davy right there. And she must be Stephanie. Well, this about concludes all of my root tree stuff. Did I get a photo of Chris? I did. It was him and Lulu. I think this makes him an artist, or maybe he's just a regular old student. You're probably Stephanie. You're in high school. Hang on, let's put that photo down for Lulu. Beth, probably you. Then, oh, I just realized that it sorts it by gender. That's why I wasn't seeing the photos I thought I had. Swimmer's not a thing, so he's just a college student. She's possibly also a college student. We'll just put K through 12. Okay. So maybe he's also a student. Perhaps she's a college student. Okay. So really what it's just come down to now is figuring out the one missing link. Real quick, let me just see, have I got everyone's photos in? I'm still missing a photo of Miracle Jr. I don't know where that's from. And I don't really care either. That's about to get confirmed. I don't know, I can probably squeak by without knowing whatever it is. Yeah, I see the resemblance. Which one am I not sure about? Alright. Chris Raff. Odd collage called Cousins. Plan to get here when we get married in May. So he's still in college. Chris is still in college. Oh, I put down K through 12. Okay. So 100%ed. Probably correct. She looks K through 12. Maybe Bethany's doing something different these days. We had to create a piece of art about our family. I asked as many of my extended family of cousins their pictures I could. Teacher said I wasn't allowed to use pictures of Rain, O'Reilly, or Rose, so I had to get creative and use only my third cousins. Stephanie, who is an only child. Yes, a new application had to be used. What does he say about Bethany? Well, if Bethany is the younger sister of the college student, then she must be K through 12. And that's game. Game, set, match. Get fucked. $49 out of 50. Alright. What's good?
To my genealogy genie. If you're reading this, it means you've locked in 49 blood relatives. Congratulations! I knew you could do it. There are 2 more entries on the family tree I'd like you to consider. These last 2 are optional. You can summon me whenever you wish. However, this will end your search and reveal the truth. So make sure you're ready.
2 more entries. Who is EC? I hadn't thought much about spouse, but I'm gonna say Mr. Miller, probably. These last 2 are optional, won't lock in until you say you're ready. Well, I don't know how much further I can speculate. I'll give a read over the documents. Edward Clancy, root tree, guardian, adoption, or otherwise. Yeah. Yep, seems to me like it's just run-of-the-mill gay couple. I'd wager that Edward Clancy Roottree is the twin of... Where is he? Clancy Edward Roottree, and he's probably like a hermaphrodite, like I said. So the family was like, what the fuck do we do with this goblin? As was unfortunately commonplace back then. Yeah, that's my guess. And it's confirmed farmhand for me. I'll do a little digging into Miller. I gotta take a piss real quick, and then we'll just lock that in. Oh, and of course I need to put the photo in. There's Edward Clancy. Fake-ass beard. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, EC and John. Does that mean John Miller? Can I search John Miller in Butler County Times, maybe? Bum, bum, bum. All 3 are on the books. So, John Miller is also on the books. Would that make him John Roottree? Yeah, I don't think he would be in Teen Blast, though. Blood is thicker than syrup. Must apply, then. So... Elias was principled enough that he recognized blood when blood was blood. Which is why he wrote them back into the will, I'm guessing. Oh, I guess I could put in John Miller. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I'll read through the last of the thing real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Married off to a much older man and sent away. That was the end of that almost. None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared. Not going by Patsy. Patsy's husband died. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person. That's important, that she never met him. But Pop once referred to him a confirmed bachelor. I think that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. So the only other first name we've heard is a John, who was seen picking crops with them. So I'm just going to assume it's John Miller. I don't think it would take Mr. Miller as an answer. And then, of course, there was this bit, I got angry when I met a new girl who I do not like. Dirty, did not have a pretty dress. Is this just supposed to be Sam? Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged him. When I told her he was my Pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, "Your Pop is my dad." So what does that fit into this? Little girl says, "Your Pop is my dad." That's Lauren, who's writing. Maybe Samantha's the one who had the twin. I don't know, that's why I'm thinking it's like, intersex, because, your Pop is my dad, says the little girl, so maybe that this is, like, intersex, raised as a girl, becomes a man, sort of thing, which explains the fake-ass looking beard. Scooby-Doo villain beard. Alright. Yeah, there's just, like, some idiosyncrasies I don't quite get, but I'm sure that the lady who's either Lauren or Caroline will come in and explain them to me. Your Pop is my dad. I still feel like there's a relative or two that's been obfuscated from the tree. Like a third brother of these two, or Lauren apparently having a sister. And I guess that they just throw them all in the house. The Hunchetop house. Is the Hunchetop house where they send all the unsightly and unseemly queers in the family? Is that what they do? Alright, I'm just gonna read that, that erotica thing again. Steamy correspondence. Let's, just read this again with the impression that it's talking about, the thing. About a supposedly intersex twin. 1934. Patch writes a letter to an unknown gentleman. So this is Patricia writing to Elias Jr. From Patch, who would have been in her mid-20s when the letter was written, was married to an older man of notable status. Real quick, is Elias Jr. Lauren's dad? Just confirm. No, Clancy is Lawrence's dad. This letter was most definitely not to him. There are also a few passages after the steamy bits that mention a daughter, leading Tina Angelina to theorize that this letter was written to the father of a child she hid from society in some way. So, Patricia... Yes, writing to them about Sam. This is about Sam so far. A letter ends on a mention of a twisted twin, evoke imagery from classic literature. If not for her story, Sam, yours, Elijah's, and mine, Patsy's, would be the most tragic tale ever told. How awful is it that such beauty, referring to Sam, was ripped from its rightful fate, and worse, sent to live in possession of your brother, Clancy, twisted twin. Clancy's brother being Edward Clancy. Clancy Edward has a brother named Edward Clancy, and he's EC. Left an outcast, forced to a life of labor under a wicked relative. Yes, and they're just calling him wicked relative. Something from the start of a children's fable. Can't stand to be apart from you both. Someday I shall return. Fight for a child's freedom. Let us pray her fable has a happy ending. Alright, yeah, I'm ready to lock in. Take me to the end. I'm saying it's John Miller and Edward Clancy. Yes, confirm. But first, are you going to show me what I missed? Here's the final optional entries you found. Number of optional entries left for next time. That's just the picture of Miracle, I think. Hooray. I hope I didn't miss like a secret ending by being too lazy to go find that one photo. Alright, break it down for me. Edward Clancy was locked in.
So, you thought EC was Edward Clancy Roottree? And his partner was John Miller?
That's funny that she voiced that. So am I not right about John Miller because I saw he was blue?
That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Woohoo.
I'm Sam Madsen, though you know me as Samantha Roottree.
Oh, you're Sam.
Yep, I got old. The only picture you have of me is from 40 years ago.
You got old? Shocker.
My book tells the truth about Elias, the 5 pieces, and my parents.
5 pieces and my parents.
Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. and Patsy. My fathers, Edward Clancy Roottree and John Miller.
Alright, break it down for me.
By now, you've either read Lauren's diaries, or you're just an incredible guesser.
That is funny if I played this without learning Lauren's diaries.
Lauren was right. I hated the 5 pieces. She just didn't know my full reasoning.
But even so, she seems to blame more than just the 2 of them. She has no problems with the next gens. Yeah, hatred for 5 pieces. Break it down.
My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man. But his identical twin Clancy and his father, Elias, were not.
Okay.
At age 16, my father was caught kissing a farmhand.
He was 16 years old before he just got expunged from history? Are you serious? What? Did the Roottrees invent like a memory gun to just make everyone forget he existed?
Back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge gay people existed. Having one in the family was unthinkable.
Alright.
The same year, I was born. A bastard granddaughter. 2 stains on Elias's perfect family. He decided to fix.
Yep. Oh, shit, I skipped one. Oh, I'm so fucking stupid. What did I just skip? Well, shit, it was there for 1 frame, so I'll pause it for you so you can read it right now. They tried to erase Edward Clancy. They even removed his 5 pieces flavor. His name was deemed a dirty word. He became EC. Oh. Wait. This kind of makes sense. So, I guess one of the original 5 pieces was him. I never saw the old 5 pieces ad. That's a cool detail that I must have missed. That, one of the flavors changed from... Well, which one did change? Yeah, they replaced EC with M for Miracleberry. That's cool. She became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see Eli Jr. ever again. Her baby, Samantha, was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Well, I'm a little confused. What? Hang on, there's something that hasn't been answered yet. Who was the little girl that Lauren encountered that said, "Your pop is my pop. Your pop is my dad"? Break that down for me.
We were sent to the farm, and the 5 pieces did their best to keep the next generation away, to isolate me from family.
Yeah.
But Elias couldn't erase us from existence. Lauren never realized I was the little girl from her diary.
Why did you say, "Your pop is my dad"? That's not true. Clancy, Elias Jr. was your dad, right? Or did they just lie? Clancy was your dad, but he never owned up to you. What? Lauren's dad is Clancy. Elias Jr. has the affair that supposedly ends with Samantha. So why does Samantha say, "Your pop is my dad"?
Who could blame me for being so confused that day? Her father was an exact copy of mine, except without the beard.
Oh, so she mistook him. I'm confused. Hang on. Oh, I see what she means, because EC, Edward Clancy, was not her biological father. Her biological father is Elias. And when she said, "Your pop is my dad," she was referring to the identical twin of Clancy. Alright, I didn't realize who she was talking about with father.
And while the 5 pieces celebrated a new factory, farmhands did the real work. It's a fluke there's a picture of my father at all. But there he is in the background. The 6th 5-piece.
The 6th 5-piece.
Patsy returned, and things got complicated for Elias. She fought for my freedom, from a life she deemed unworthy.
Sure. It's such a weird thing, this TV correspondence.
Elias relented, so long as I never learned the truth or receive inheritance. They knew I'd help my father.
Okay.
At Elias's will reading, I learned part of the truth. The rest I learned at home. I began to hate the 5 pieces.
Well, that's very sad.
My father made me stay silent. He was worried history would repeat, and that his grandchildren would become outcasts.
Father made me stay silent. So Elias Jr. No, when she says father, I guess she's talking about Edward Clancy. She exclusively refers to him as father.
His fears weren't unfounded. As you know, my son Ernie died a few years ago.
Yeah.
He had trained to take over as president.
So was this an assassination?
But due to family politics, or perhaps hubris, it went to Guy. A real root tree. He
Right.
nearly ruined the company.
And then you killed him! I think these are all just excerpts that I've already read.
When Ernie took over, he saved the operation. Over 13 years, he made the family billions.
After you killed Guy!
Ernie earned about $36.
Yep, that sounds right. That's what the deal was. The yearly salary of Roottree's president is always locked to the price. Yep.
They got by on Debbie's salary, but when he fell ill, he couldn't pay his medical bills. His death was my tipping point.
Didn't Carl step in for that? I don't know.
Originally, my book was meant to expose Elias's hypocrisy. Until I started to look into the other dirty laundry.
Robbie Roottree article in Silver Screen. So there was a whole publication I didn't know about. Alright, what does this say? I want to learn about this. Tell the Clans Trust. Robbie Roottree was allegedly quietly tried and convicted under the name Robert Roottree in a French court of law. Seems he allegedly embezzled from his company RF Productions to fuel a gambling habit. Robbie was the younger brother.
Ron tried to have Robbie removed from the trust, but couldn't. Robbie was a blood relative, even out of wedlock.
Alright. Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Okay, so it was just brother against brother.
That sounded familiar. The Clancid Trust that Elias established was
Clancid?
designed to secure his family's future.
You call it the Clancid Trust? That's interesting.
His entire family's future. He couldn't write exceptions in without the whole thing falling apart.
Due to the ironclad wording, impossible to remove people.
My book can definitively prove that Elias was not the paragon of virtue he's heralded as.
Okay.
And that my daughter and granddaughters are just as much family, at least in the eyes of the Trust, as anyone else.
Were these 3 being considered not family previously? I mean, they don't have the Roottree last name because they're descended from a Roottree lady, but that still makes them blood relatives. And I don't think anyone's denying that.
The Clancid Trust will secure their future. They can decide what to do with their shares. But I'm old, and I'm not in it for the money. The truth has been eating away at me for years. But now, I can set the record straight. Thanks to you.
So, I guess Gwen didn't have a 3rd kid?
As someone who enjoys searching for the truth, you might understand the power it has. Whitewashing the past to protect the status quo can lead to repercussions in the present.
Here's your lesson, everybody. Make sure you pay attention.
So thank you. You knocked it out of the park. With your expert work, the truth will come to light.
Until Zachariah Morden drops a bomb on our house and sends in the strike team.
And when it does, my share of the Clancid Trust is yours. Like I said at the beginning,
I'm a Roottree now?
set for life.
That's funny.
Looking at the family tree on your wall, now with my father's, everything finally feels complete.
Cool.
Unless a whole lot more root trees somehow appear from thin air, this is the last time I'll come knocking. Thanks again, and so long.
Aye, aye. And that's game?
We're rolling.
Oh shit, no, they recorded a Jim Diamond song. Thanks to your hard work, Sam Madsen's book was published. It received mixed reviews. Life went on and a new president took over the company. Roottree family faded from the news cycle. And then everything changed. Okay, what about the plane crash? There's another mystery to solve. Roottree Mania is unlocked as a new game. What the hell's Roottree Mania? I'm a secret Roottree. Roottree Mania. Find out what happens to the Infamous family in a whole new mystery. Roottree Mania will spoil unlocked content. Make sure you've tied up any loose ends before starting. Okay. Use an unused slot. What the hell is Roottree Mania? There's another family tree? 60 years in the future!
Hi.
Clark Rafferty!
Probably not who you expected to be knocking.
My best friend!
But life's funny sometimes. You've done well staying anonymous. It took us a while to track you down. A lot has happened in the last year. Far too much of it public. But there's stuff going on behind the scenes, too. I never wanted to be president. I'm not great with stress. And with my mother's deteriorating I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not here for sympathy. I'm here because part of the fallout of Sam's book is that everyone's coming out of the woodwork.
Roottrees are appearing out of thin air, just as they feared.
Now that it's public knowledge that Clancy Trust covers any Roottree despite their history with us, a lot of potential cousins have surfaced.
Uh-huh.
You may have seen that man on the cover of News Time. It was a disaster for us. And then Miracle went and made it all about himself. The long and short of it is, a lot of potential cousins just showed up. Sam's helping some of them. But she's not really going about it the right way. And she's not taking calls from anyone in the family. I let it slip through a mutual friend that I found you, and I was stopping in. It's manipulative, but I'm hoping she'll reach out to you. You can let her know I'm on her side.
I don't know. This guy's, like, historically very untrustworthy. But I don't know, I kind of like Clark. He's goofy.
In the meantime, if you're willing, I can share our files with you. Pass them along to Sam if she reaches out. I'm genuinely hoping she'll realize I'm an ally.
You're an ally, are you?
Feel free to do your own research. I've been told you enjoy things like this. To each their own.
Well, that's Roottree's base game there. By the looks of things, we have a great big new web of cousins to work through that I'm probably going to come back to later. Infidelities, huh? That's cool. It's pretty cool. And I still have the ability to put in pictures of people. Oh, you know what? I guess that I did have the other photo of Miracle, and I just forgot to click it and put it in. Alright, that's the whole thing. That's the whole damn thing right there. Very good. Fun game. I love this formula. I think that there is so much that you can do when you create Sudoku offshoots. Obra Dinn was a Sudoku offshoot, and this is a Sudoku offshoot. Very cool. You know, I can't speak for everyone, but I felt that the ending got to be a little bit predictable there. I think maybe they tried a little too hard when they used the term confirmed bachelor to describe Clancy, but I don't know. I mean, maybe other people haven't played Fallout New Vegas, so they didn't immediately know, like, yay, when they heard that. And John Miller kind of was a leap, but I dig it. I could probably count on one hand the logical inconsistencies I had in this. Pop and Clancy, it drove me crazy, but maybe there was an explanation for it. And maybe, it might just be that I'm terrible at reading and understanding things. But yeah, I wasn't expecting this DLC right here. So maybe I will pick this up soon, or maybe I'll wait a little bit and jump back on this mystery when I need more genealogy. Because I don't, to my knowledge, there's no other names like this, and there's another top secret. Look at that. So maybe we'll break this out and do a. We'll break this out and do something new with it soon. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed that there was no root tree curse or, like, I guess any cool shit with, like, the plane crash happening. Whatever. Not every story needs to have cool shit like that. Be well, everybody, and vote for Holt. God, I can take off these suspenders now.